Head on over to Massdrop and check out the great deals on some current group buys. Use the link in the description and see for yourself. So here's my take on an age-old debate, Mac or PC. Now, there's no clear way to even approach this question. There's so many variables that could take part and play in this game. There's like age, portability, the durability you need, how much money you have to spend, what you're going to use it for, whether you're buying it new or used. So many different things, but that's too much, so we're going to simplify it a bit for this video. So for the sake of the video and our sanity, we're going to simplify it to the two most important variables being price and usage. For price, we have under $1,000, $2,000, and then $7,000 representing the lower end, mid-range, and very high-end budgets. And then for usages, we have the everyday user who needs portability, the gamer, and then somebody who needs productivity like a professional who's video edits or something like that. Now keep in mind this video is also an opinion. I'm a PC user, so I might be a little bit biased, but whatever I choose, just hear out my reasoning and then make a comment and we could have a good debate or discussion in the comments below. So let's get started. So, Mac or PC? Let's start on the budget. Let's start with less than $1,000 as your budget. Maybe you don't have that much money, but you need a computer to use or for school or for whatever reason. Spoiler alert, there's no new Mac in this price range. As the average user, the everyday user, spend $500 on a Dell Inspiron laptop, boom, you're done. You have a very capable laptop that's going to last you a while. You can check your email, browse Facebook, browse the web, do a Skype call, maybe even the occasional arcade game or something, and you've saved $500. You're looking good. As a gamer for $1,000, you can build a pretty capable PC with maybe an i5-4670K in it, maybe an R9 280X, and you can play any new game on pretty decent settings at a very respectable frame rate of 60 FPS or above. And lastly, for productivity, you're building a $1,000 custom PC, probably pretty similar to the gaming one, maybe with a few things tweaked because you don't need as much raw horsepower. But really it's the same thing. Productivity includes like video editing, photo editing, coding, emulating, multitasking, that kind of stuff. Alright, so for under $1,000, you're looking at a PC. Check. For $2,000, things kind of change a little bit. This is for somebody that has a little bit more money to spend, wants to get something that will last a while, and something that actually feels like quality. As an everyday user, honestly, a MacBook is probably the way to go for this amount of money. As my mom would say, it's easier to use, it's self-explanatory. My mom does not know how to open up Task Manager, doesn't know how to kill a process, doesn't know how to install her drivers or anything, but she was over there editing video on her MacBook, editing video of a sports game on her MacBook and putting it together in one single video. So whatever they do, it is simpler than a PC to use. In addition, for $2,000, you get a 15-inch Retina display MacBook, which has a 2880 by 1800 screen with an i7 inside. I choose Mac over PC here for a couple of reasons. First of all is ease of use. As I said, the operating system is simply easier to use than Windows. Second of all is user experience. With that 2880 by 1800 display, that's a very HD display that I'm sure any user would love. And third of all, the most important one is build quality. You're looking at an all-aluminum unibody construction that is extremely nice to carry around. It has some weight to it, so you know you're dealing with quality, and it just has a stamp of quality approval on it. So moving on to a gamer, there's no competition here. You can't even run most games on a Mac, so you're going with a PC. For $2,000, you're getting something like an i5, a 780, 500 gigabytes of SSD storage, and $500 left for a 3-monitor setup or whatever you want to buy. Alright, now for productivity, which is sort of interesting but not quite yet. On the Mac side of things, you're either getting a pretty weak MacBook Pro or an iMac with mobile components in it. So neither of those are great. You're going to be going with PC for productivity. Because for $2,000, you can get an i7 4790K, a 770 for the CUDA cores, a 500GB SSD, and a 4K monitor with more screen real estate than you've ever had. I can speak from experience that if you can budget a 4K monitor into your productivity workstation, it's a huge advantage and it's absolutely a delight to use. Now let's move on to the last budget, which is like $6,000, somewhere way up there in that price range. And this is where things do get interesting. But this isn't for the normal person. This is for a very specific person. Maybe somebody that just got a new job and they got a huge signing bonus. Maybe somebody whose job gave them a check to make a new computer or get a new computer to do their work on. Or maybe you're just made of money and you inherited a ton because you're royalty or something. Whatever, you have a lot of money to spend. So for the everyday consumer, you can't even spend this amount of money. The highest Mac you can get is $2,500, the MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina upgraded with all the upgraded specs and stuff, and then you're left with a lot of money. I'm just going to dismiss this category because you can't spend that much money for just an everyday consumer. It'd be a complete waste of money. As for the gamer, we're still looking at a PC for the same reasons. You get more powerful gaming hardware, and you can play every game for a much cheaper price. $7,000 gets you a badass PC with an i7 4820K, 2TB of SSDs, a two-way SLI Titan Blacks, and over $2,000 left just for water cooling or peripherals or anything you want to buy. Yeah, it's completely ridiculous, but that's the price point, so yeah. And finally, the enormous budget of $7,000 for productivity. And this is kind of what this video is geared toward. This is probably the only thing that might surprise you other than the everyday user getting a MacBook. And that's because I would choose a Mac Pro for productivity at this price, and you should too. At $7,000, you can get a Mac Pro with an 8-core Xeon inside, 32GB of RAM, a 512GB PCIe SSD, and most importantly, dual AMD FirePro D700 GPUs. So let's just begin comparing that to a PC. We take the GPUs, the D700 GPUs, which are comparable to the AMD FirePro W9000 GPUs that you buy right now on Newegg for $3,200 each. So combined, that's already $6,500 for the GPU alone out of your $7,000 Mac Pro system. I'm not going to go through each and every part and compare it to a PC because that's worthless. The Mac Pro is a workstation computer. You can't build an equivalent for the same price. You're getting workstation parts, ECC RAM, the Xeon 8-core, 12-core CPU, D700 GPUs. You're getting a 512GB PCIe-based flash storage, and then you're getting a nice warranty, an incredible form factor, and extremely quiet operation. All combined, that's actually a good deal even though it has a huge price tag. You actually can't build an equivalent PC for the price. It's obviously not meant for gaming, it's a workstation computer, and you can't really compete with that. You could go to a company like Dell if you're looking for a workstation computer, but you still probably will end up paying more. Now I'm talking about the upgraded Mac Pro though. The base Mac Pro that's $2,000 or $3,000 could be beaten by a PC, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a different story. When you're spending big chunks of cash, the Mac Pro is actually a very good deal. Alright, so that was a lot of stuff. Let's try to recap. If you're an everyday user and a MacBook Pro is in your budget, get a MacBook. You're not going to regret it. It is perfect for you. If you're a gamer, build your own PC, period. There's no question there. And if you're a professional, basically the whole time building your own PC or getting a PC will be a lot more worth it. But once you get into that upgraded Mac Pro range, it actually ends up being really worth it to pick one of those up because you're getting a lot for your money. Now I know there's other stuff like Hackintoshes, but I'm not going to get into that because that adds a whole nother variable that would take a long time to decipher and analyze whether it's a good deal or not. And before all the comments get in, I know there are a lot of other variables, and I know there are a lot of different price points and budgets that people are at, but I thought these were the most important, and for the sake of the video's length, I kept it down to just these. Now, this was a tough video to make, but if you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more content, and stay classy.